If you are watching right now and listening right now, we'll be with you in just a couple of minutes. But in the meantime, have you checked the gas prices in the last 2 days, yesterday? I'd like to know what you saw. What's the lowest gas price you saw in the Jacksonville area? Okay, we'll be on the air in a couple of minutes. Just hang in there. Okay. It is on the chilly side. It's in the 30s throughout the region. 34 degrees, is it? 34 in the back of our studio outside here. So it's going to be chilly. Dress appropriately. Carry a heating pad with you. I really should leave the microphones up in here before we get on the air every morning. You know that it would be very interesting, likely for some folks to. They're squabbling in there. What's going on?
We weren't squabbling.
You
I was
were.
trying to explain what the extra 4 digits are on your zip code.
Good morning. I'm Rayford Brown,
And I'm Lee Barrows.
and
And you were making it difficult.
well, I know what she Lee said something about her zip code. She punched in to get what the temperature was, huh?
And my
Okay, so she punched in her zip code plus four. She said, "What's plus four? It's the 4 digits after your regular zip code." I said, "What is that all about?" I never looked at it. I don't even know what it is. Well, I have a piece of mail here that came in, so I looked at it, and mine says 8102.
Right.
Well, the address is 102.
But that's just a coincidence.
I don't believe in coincidence.
It is just a coincidence.
there's
So
no such
everybody
thing. It
on
was
this side
deliberate.
of the street is going to have 8102. But on the
Yeah.
opposite side of the
Dumb.
street, it'll be different by one number.
Well, I'll find out.
That's how they identify you. That's how they know where your
Then-
mail goes.
Then they don't know exactly where it goes.
Oh, yeah, no. It's all done by machines. Machines read it and they know exactly what tray to
The
put it
same
in.
machines that people picked it up and took it over to Sherwood Forest off Gum Branch Road, right?
Well, that was the
Yeah. That was the carrier.
yes, I was trying to find the right words and tried to be polite about it.
Yeah.
That was carelessness.
That'd be one of those 10,000 people that are going to leave.
I doubt it. It won't be your, but what they're doing is offering early outs and they're giving you a bonus to retire early only if you've met a certain criteria.
I'll retire early for them right now.
And then
Just give me that bonus.
if they replace any of those people, it'll be with part-timers that get no benefits and get a lot less money.
So they still will not be cutting the workforce by 10,000 people.
Yeah, they will, but going at 10,000 is nothing for
I
the amount of
understand that.
people that the post office
That's what I'm
has.
thinking. They won't even notice it.
I mean, but they're working with Doge right now. They're coming up with a plan. So before the joy leaves.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, good morning, y'all. How you doing? It's hump day, and coming up this morning at 7:30, we have the one, the only Dr. Rosemary Stein. She'll be joining us by telephone from Alamance County, way up yonder, and where it snows a lot during the wintertime when we don't get nothing but 75 degrees, which is good.
I'm good. I'm
got
happy.
No problems with that. Don't need no snow. And by the way, the old wives, those tails are exactly that. They're a bunch of tails. I think the old wives' tails, they were sitting on them, and when they came up with this, oh, if you hear thunder in the wintertime, we're going to have snow in 10 days.
Well, that's just like the Farmer's Almanac. Do you believe everything they predict?
Yeah, it's much more accurate than the old wives' tales.
Okay. So you say.
Yeah, well, whatever.
I just get up every morning, look at the weather, and decide what to wear. That's it. Whether to take a jacket or.
So you're going to believe the weather guy at 5 o'clock in the morning, huh?
Well, that's the easiest way because you know how fast weather changes.
Yeah, huh?
Do you know already?
So by the time you get here, it could be different.
You're going to have National Weather Service because the National Hurricane Service has already shown there's a depression out in the Atlantic.
Doesn't matter.
I'm like,
it's out of season. It's illegal.
I agree.
So they cannot have one.
I think we should just shoot rockets at it.
I actually made that suggestion when I was in law enforcement down in Curie Beach. Out there, we didn't have a lot of cops there at Curie Beach for obvious reasons. Didn't need them. But
well, they had you.
I told the mayor. I said when they were talking about it, they would get together, walk in. Hey, we got a hurricane coming. Yeah, well, it might be like the other ones. Madam Mayor, what's the possibility we just take all the old ammo we've got and all of us get out there as we see this thing offshore and we just start shooting up in the air at it?
Well,
she said, well, how's that going to work? I said, has anybody tried it? We don't know, do we?
We've got so many intelligent scientists. Why can't they invent some type of bomb
that
the airplane hunters can fly over and drop in there?
They used to go up there and drop salt or something in the...
What?
Yeah, they used to seed. They call it seeding those hurricanes far offshore.
Is that why the ocean's so salty?
And I think what happened there is they found out that made them bigger, more powerful. They like salt or whatever they dropped. I forgot what they dropped. But anyway, yeah, I haven't heard of that in quite a while. But they used to do that, trying it out. They tried lots of things.
Well,
they never tried dropping live ammo, firing live rockets into it, though.
Well, there's people that post on the internet, and anything you read on the internet is true.
Yeah, absolutely.
That hurricanes
I read that on the internet. It's true.
They're made by the government.
Whose?
Our government. That's what they post. So if our government makes them, why can't we destroy them?
Well, why can't we use them to our benefit? If we can make them, I tell you what, I can fix it. If you give me that power, I can fix it so China is no longer a problem. New River Inlet would never clog up. We wouldn't need it being dredged every 12 years or so.
12, more like 25.
I could, if I had that power, I could correct a lot of problems in this world. I could make world peace because, hey, y'all want a hurricane named after you? Then sign right here on the dotted line.
I'm not that anxious to have a hurricane named after me.
Well, then you would sign on the dotted line and say, no, I wouldn't. Then I say, okay, then you had just bought your way out of a hurricane.
Had one a couple years ago that was named after me because Lee's just a nickname anyway. But thank goodness it fizzled right out. I was true to form. I ain't going there. Well, we told you about a case of sexual assault that happened in Jacksonville over the weekend, right? Yes.
A woman told police that a man dressed all in black with black hood and even black gloves attacked her outside her Belfort Homes residence. But Jacksonville detectives released the description the victim gave them at the time, as well as the description of a pickup truck with some rather specific descriptive information about that truck.
Yes.
Then yesterday, follow-up report. The Jacksonville Police is no longer looking for a sexual assault suspect. I said, first thought they got him. Nope.
That seems like there's more to this.
According to police, Their report, the investigation has disproven the alleged sexual assault even took place. The investigators continue to look into the circumstances around the complaint.
Why would you do that?
Okay. If there was a police report made and police determined there was one made and police determined that the complaint was a fake, individual could face some charges, perhaps for filing a false police report. They're going to have to, they will be looking into that. Cases like this make it hard to complete investigations. For whatever the reason, police believe the victim was not actually attacked in this case. In reality, a lot of valuable time was already wasted. Every cop wants to bring the full force of the law on anyone who commits rape. They're all will go to the ends of the earth to bring a man down who has committed rape, right?
Right.
I mean, they're tough on them. I've seen people get mad, though, at the investigators when they work diligently to make sure the complainant is telling the truth. Actually, that may be what you think they're doing. They're trying to get all of the details from the complainant at the time. They come in and they give this. Can you tell me what kind of shoes, what the shoes look like? Can you tell me exactly what was said? They're not trying to trick them up. But sometimes in doing that, they get different stories from sentence to sentence. So then it's like, okay, you get suspicious about the complainant. The cop wants to make sure the attack actually occurred, of course, and that it occurred as the victim says, of course. Otherwise, when they get to court, they're going to have completely different stories coming out, and then that case gets destroyed immediately. And once a case is destroyed, once it's dismissed, once they're found not guilty or whatever, then you can never arrest that guy for that crime with that person again.
Right.
Done.
Right.
So I don't know. It doesn't happen often, but there are enough cases that are not real to cause investigators to dig really hard. And they're digging really hard, honestly, to make absolutely sure the victim has got the details, is able to present all of the details to them so they can really use that as evidence against the individual. If you, hey, the guy was wearing a wedding band, but it was on his right finger. Well, that's a good clue. Something they won't release, but that's something they can look for. And in the process of eliminating possible suspects in a case, they can use that to eliminate or to narrow it down. So all the details that they can get from any person who's been the victim of a crime are great.
Well, you know, when that story first came out and you told it yesterday, I talked about it. What struck me was really odd was the alleged assailant was dressed to the nine with coverings. I mean, you know, they couldn't identify if he was black or white, female or male, because he was completely covered. But yet the description on his truck, which was all tricked out, I'm like, who would cover their face?
Now, they knew that truck was, even at the time, the victim did not know that truck belonged to him. That truck had been seen in the neighborhood. It was what the victim told police. So that one, which would be, okay, let's go find that truck. It's, you know, they do that. They look for things like that. So anyway, and I don't know whether she told them or whether they saw it on some doorbell cameras or whatever. Anyway, there was a truck that looked like that.
Yeah, because that was part of their report, be on the lookout for.
Yeah, well, absolutely. Let's look out for that one. Maybe they saw something. Maybe they know something.
I just thought all that was strange.
Well, okay.
But you know what? Hey, you know, the victim, I hope things get worked out for everyone. But if you purposely made a false report, well,
that's going to be a problem.
Yes, that will be a problem.
If you're looking for retaliation, which happens, unfortunately, from time to time, I'm going to make his life difficult. He broke up with me.
Well, we'll definitely wait and see what comes out of it.
Yeah, there's probably going to be more. Got some great news this morning. After 9 long months, we got some good news for a couple of people. Good. 2 NASA astronauts who were hurled into space 9 months ago with plans to only hang out at the International Space Station for a week have finally made it home. Well, back to Earth anyway. I want you to think about this for a minute. Put yourself in these shoes, not in their shoes, but in these shoes. You've packed your clothes. You've got the toothpaste. You got enough books to keep you occupied while you're on a week's vacation.
Books up there.
Not up there, but on a week's vacation. Just you're going to go up to, I don't know, down to Myrtle Beach and to hang out. You take a book with you and you'll read the book on the beach and maybe a couple, 3 books or whatever. And then for whatever reason, you go to one of these locations, Myrtle Beach or Jamaica or wherever, and whoops, something's happened. We can't fly home. We can't get away. The roads have been blocked. What are we going to do? Are you going to be here? Oh my God, you could get stuck for 36 months.
Is that anything like going to the mountains and getting hit by a hurricane?
Close. Who's going to take care of your critters? That's one of the things you're going to ask.
Oh,
who's going to mow your lawn and pay the bills?
Mm-hmm.
Stuck hundreds of miles above the earth, circling only a few hundred miles away, but 9 months away.
Yeah.
Likely bored out of your ever-loving mind, likely thinking that someone has done this to you on purpose.
Right.
Don't you know that all? Good news is that Sonny Williams and it was on target and on time when it took a dip known as the Gulf of America. 9 months of floating as free as a bird, weightless, taking little spacewalks outside the space station to stretch your legs. It's bound to have taken a toll both mentally and physically.
They may want to come back and go back.
On the physical side, I imagine it's going to be a chore just readjusting to things like walking, eating normal food, going to the bathroom. Yeah, can you imagine? Can you imagine going to McDonald's after missing normal food for 9 months?
You probably couldn't eat it all.
I doubt it. Or you would scarf it down and then just puke it up.
Yeah, exactly. And nothing against McDonald's.
No, or anybody. Wouldn't matter what. On the plus side for NASA, for future outer space explorations, this accidental situation has most assuredly been an opportunity to learn how much that long exposures to weightlessness will have on humans, one male, one female. There have been people in space for longer than 9 months at a time. Right. You understand? And they've been studied, and that's what some of the purposes were. Whatever it was, they got a lot of time to work on equipment. They learned how to work on a lot of that stuff that's up there, fix a bunch of things like maybe one of them was good with working on furniture. Maybe there's some broken furniture that they could fix. Maybe they just wanted to repaint them. How would you paint things in outer space? You paint some stuff on a board down there or whatever, and then suddenly that paint's floating around. And
they can make magic paint.
And Pixie does too. Gotcha.
We can build a ship and go up to outer space and spend 9 months. They can make magic paint.
Glad to have them home. I hope they get the recognition they deserve and all of the back pay that they should have coming to them.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And I hope that the hundreds of men and women, the real experts that make this kind of stuff actually work, get their just rewards as well. It wasn't just the two of them.
Right.
It was a lot of people.
Yes, it was. And what did you get per diem for every day you're up there?
Yeah, they could eat whatever they wanted, and they had free room and board. You don't have to pay for the hotel room. You're good to go.
I mean, per diem, that could be what? Say it was $60 a day. 60 times.
Well, but if the government's already paying for it, you don't get it. No.
I know about per diem. I used to get per diem. Right.
If you're in,
it was a joke
in the government. I know, but if you're in the government, and here's your credit card to go out and you pay for everything that you're going to do during this period of time. Because some trips are not just like working trips. Some trips are like you've got to go to this conference here, this conference there, and you got to do that. And you've got to make appearances at the strip clubs and these other things. So it's all paid for, right? That went right by you, didn't it?
No. See, when I traveled like that, I had a credit card for, like going out to eat.
And it had an amount on it of $4.98, right?
No, it was a government credit card. You charged them. They paid for it. But you also got per diem if you were, there all day long and night. And you also got mileage. money off the per diem and the mileage than I did my regular pay.
Yeah,
It's
I
crazy.
think the government, the last time I had to claim anything was 55 cents per mile.
Yeah, I was
I'm
going to
like,
say
holy
that's the
crap,
last I
let me get me a
remember.
little smart car.
And then they
Or
got
get me a Tesla car now. That would be the trick today.
Then they gave me a Ford Focus. Here, it's a company car. Drive it. No,
Yeah.
I drove it one time, and going out on the interstate where you've got the big cars and trucks passing
You
you,
had to pedal real fast. Didn't
it
you?
would blow you off the road. It scared me. So I drove my own vehicle, but I couldn't claim mileage. So I was like, I don't care.
Oh, you couldn't claim mileage? Oh,
Not if you
simply because they had theirs.
Because they had,
oh,
yes.
That's a shame.
Yes, and
Did it pay for the gas?
surprisingly enough, it had government tags on it. You would not believe how many people flipped me off.
Oh,
driving a small car.
Who was president at the time?
Oh God, I don't remember.
That might be why. Think about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, what did I do? I was at a gas pump putting gas in it, and a guy come by and flipped me off there, and I was like,
well,
what's going on? And the only thing I could figure was the government place.
All right, let's go back to Earth. We're here. The world of weather continues to be a daily thing, right?
Yes.
The marine outlook today through Friday evening sees a small craft advisory posted. For today, that means northerly winds 10 to 15 knots, becoming westerly 5 to 10 this afternoon, seas 3 to 5 feet, about 2 feet near shore. Not a bad day if you'd like to take that trip to the offshore fishing grounds. Do it this morning. Get out there. Catch your limit of fish. Make sure you know what kind you can catch. Speckled trout is not among that. And then get back home. Sounds and rivers, a moderate chop, diminishing to a light chop this afternoon. Now, then comes tomorrow. Overnight, the winds are going to kick up. Winds tomorrow, so from the south, 10 to 15 knots, increasing to 20 to 25, gusts to 30 knots in the afternoon. Seas 5 to 7 feet near shore, seas 2 to 3 feet, building to 3 to 5 in the afternoon. Sounds and rivers, a moderate chop, becoming rough in the afternoon. Friday, northwesterly winds 20 to 25 knots, gusts to 35 knots, seas 5 to 8 feet, 3 to 5 near shore. Sounds and rivers rough. I'm going to explain something to you about the weather as far as marine forecast is concerned. The timing of the change in the marine forecast is always up in the air, right? For instance, today, we've got mild winds, basically 10 to 15 knots. You can get out there and you can go fishing. You can go out offshore, and they don't expect it to get really bad until sometime beginning tonight. That time frame could change. It could be moved up later today. Y'all know how that happens.
That's right.
It could be moved up to it's going to change this afternoon at 2:00. Well, if you're stuck 50 miles offshore in the Gulf Stream, when that change starts to happen, you got 50 long miles to come at 5 knots. You'll be there tomorrow trying to get home.
Yeah, and so, how fast can a storm brew up when you're out there?
It can do that, but the front can move through and come in faster. So that's why I say, even when they tell you that today is cold and then later tonight is going to change, plan on that changing earlier.
Right.
If it changes later, you're even better. But if it changes earlier, don't get stuck.
Well, that's why
that's just your little warning for you.
I don't do the wind prediction for 2-3 days out because there's no sense.
No.
It changes. So today will be sunny with a high near 78 with calm winds. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 46. Thursday, showers likely with a possible thunderstorm. Mostly sunny with a high near 77. Friday, sunny with a high near 60.
Okay, we got we got some time before Dr. Rose gets here. So and then later this morning, we've got Mr. Wright, ladies. Mr. Wright will be here, and we'll give you his personal telephone number when he's here.
He still has not figured that out.
We'll give you his personal telephone number when he gets in the house. So
right.
You can call him later, or you can call him while he's on the air here. Make sure your calls when we have guests in the studio are relevant.
That's right.
Now, warning number 2 today. We have not been able to get through to Spectrum Business. We are a business client, and our telephones here are with Spectrum. And we have 2 telephone lines coming into the studio.
Right.
The primary line is the number that I always give you, the 910-333-0139. We have a second line coming in. And as you know, lines, when they're coming in like that, we had them set up to begin with as what they call a rollover line. If line 1 is busy, then it just rolls over to the other line automatically. We found out yesterday because Kelly was trying to get in, and she had called many times. we had somebody on line one, line two never rang. So that's just unfortunately the way it is. Okay. So if, today, if for any reason that we have a caller on the line's busy, you listen to them on the air, go ahead and try the other telephone number. I'll go ahead and give it to you. So just in case, it's 910-333-01 is the same as the primary number up to that point. 0151. Think of Area 51, okay? 910-333-0151. Got it? Okay. We got a caller here. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you guys doing?
Vertical, ambulatory.
How about you?
Right, vertical, always good. Hey, this is Kyle. Just calling in to say, hey, quick question. Have a friend coming in, or she's in from Arizona. What's the best thing to do over the next couple of days? And also wanted to say I love your Irish diplomacy in front of you last couple of days.
Well, my wife is Irish and Kelly is Irish, and so I have no choice.
Hey, good stuff. But what's the best thing? I know you guys got some people coming in and stuff, but what's the best thing to do for the next few days around town?
Where she's coming from Arizona. Okay, so
Arizona, yeah.
Has she been around here? Does she know the area or anything?
Not so much. I mean,
okay. Let's lay it out. Then you don't need to just stay stuck in Jacksonville if that's where you are. And I'm not saying stuck is a bad thing. Just you don't want to stay any one location. Time of year for the beach would be ideal because you don't have to worry about crowds. You're not going to go swimming; it's too cold. Don't even think about that. But you can go down there. You can walk the beach if she's an outdoors type of person. Just take a sweater, take a jacket or whatever, because it's going to be a little bit windy at times, and that's going to make you feel colder. You can take your shoes off if you want to, but you may want to carry them in a little backpack or whatever with you just to stay warm in case you need to. Little things like that would be great. Go ahead.
And I know you spent time and done work down in Wilmington. What's the best thing to see down in Wilmington downtown?
The number one tourist attraction in North Carolina. The Battleship Memorial, North Carolina. It's not the USS North Carolina anymore. There's only one of those, and it travels underwater. It's a submarine. But the Battleship Memorial is a great place. They got a great tour. You can look at a lot of really cool stuff there. They got a gift shop if you want it, and it's not outrageously priced. It's typical tourist stuff. But they got some things there that you can get, and if